Here's an update. Here's the floor. I didn't disturb the asbestos. It's all adhered to the piece of plywood, which was stapled down, and I pulled it up in one sheet. Although I did have to score the linoleum at 2 spots and snapped the plywood, or cut it with a chisel first and then broke it off. And that gave me a little more flexibility to get it out. Now I could use this pattern for the new subfloor, but I'm going to do it a different way because dealing with all these staples is going to be a pain in the butt. So right now, as you can see, this is the wax type paper they put so crap doesn't fall through into the basement. As you can see, light down there because this is all plank flooring. This paper was down below underneath the 1/4-inch plywood subfloor. And it has a lot of holes in it now, so it's not going to be much use. They put this down to stop dust that forms underneath the subfloor from going down into the basement or the floor below. Now I could tape up all these holes, but it's a pain in the butt, so I'm going to put plastic down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this piece of paper as my template to cut the new subfloor panel, and also when the new vinyl flooring comes in, I can use it again to cut that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tape it down, tape it together, and make some marks on it, and that will do it for me for a pattern for cutting the new 1/4-inch plywood and the vinyl flooring. So that's what we're doing today. That might be all we get done today, but whatever. We'll get some of it done anyway. Focus, come on, focus. There we go. So what I've done, guys, is I have taken the paper that was down, and you can see a series of marks in it like this. And what I did was I just cut little triangles in it and taped over them. So this is taping the paper down to the planks, so the paper is not going to move on me while I'm making my measurements. And I've done that, throughout the paper. Next, to get the accurate measurements from the wall, instead of trying to scribe along here, what I'm doing is I'm using my rafter square and using basically the thickness of the rafter square, putting it against the wall, and then drawing a line. Then when I go to fit the new piece or the linoleum, I use the pattern plus the rafter square, and this will give me a good straight edge to cut. When I do the linoleum or the vinyl flooring, I'll be able to use this as the straight edge for cutting it, and the knife will not cut into the surface because I'll have this on the inside where I'm going to be protecting. So that, if the knife slips, it's going to slip to the outside or to the waist section. So that's what I'm doing now, and I've also, as you notice, I taped the seam of the 2 pieces of paper together. So this will end up as a pretty good template for me. The only section I'm going to have to do something is the floor where the paper is a little bit shorter, but that will work out because I'm using the square, as long as the width of the square is more than the amount that the paper is missing. So if I move the square to the door and I draw that line, still well on the paper, and I have a good dimension to work off of for the plywood. And when I cut the plywood, if it doesn't fit well, then I can make adjustments to my pattern at that time before I have to cut the vinyl, if I marked anything incorrectly. So it should work pretty good for me. So there's another update. I'll just finish doing what I'm doing, and then Amber's going to get in here and do a final scrub on the walls. Then it's my turn again to do patching, which you can see behind me I'm going to have a fair amount to do, including the big hole there that I'm going to fill in because we're not putting a medicine cabinet back in. So there we go. A little more progress on the ensuite bathroom. Take it easy. Have a good one.